Okay. Thank you, Joanna. And we have Erica. Hello, Erica.
Hi, Erica.
Hi,
Okay.
everybody. Good evening. How are you? Hope all is well and happy New Year. I'm on the call with my mother, Evelyn.
Hi.
Hi. And so we're just listening in. We're from the community.
Okay, great. Welcome.
Thank
So,
you.
we're in the process of, I don't remember there having been a meeting with a Veterans Affair Committee for a while.
Mhm.
So, that was part of the reason why I, volunteered to take the committee. And so really, my goal is for this year to sort of get a couple more members on from the board, which is when I'll give my report. I'll talk about it, and then just do some stuff in the community with the veterans, because they're there. Get some information. Joanne and I were talking about bringing in someone from the city to talk about what opportunities are there for veterans, and then we would then share it with the community at large. So really, we have an agenda, but it's more of a loose agenda that we could just talk and maybe get some ideas, and then I'll get right to work on it.
So, can I just throw something into the mix?
Sure.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
I was on this committee a while ago. What number one, Giovanni? We should try to identify veterans groups within CB1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have one that I know very big, and that's the Father Giorgio Post. They're on Lama Street
Yep.
now, and they also have the monument across the
Yeah.
street, right on Meeker and Lama
And they
also.
do the event once a year over there.
Yes, you're right about that. They do an event there once a year. Um, that's good. So I'll just, if you don't mind, I'm just going to speak a few minutes because those guys are all good friends.
Yeah, and if any way you could connect me with them, that would be perfect.
I will, but here's the thing: they tell me themselves they get no new. They're very open. They look for new members. It seems the younger veterans, they don't know why. They just are not into joining these groups and all. So they have they have a nice facility there. They have monthly meetings and all. They put flyers out, but they just don't get younger veterans. So that's just one problem in all. Like,
Okay, and then what I could sort of do is maybe be the bridge, get it online so that
uh-huh.
the ones online could see it, because I think that's part of the other thing. It's like the communication may be different. So we'll get and I know some local vets that are younger
Right?
from
Good.
the community who I'll link them up with the with the post. So we'll
Giovanni,
see
now,
what happens.
do you know of any veteran? I can't think of the guy. There was another veterans place on, I believe, Lama Street in Greenpoint. Do you know any other veterans groups in?
There used to be one in my God, I walk everywhere, so I don't
I
know the
know you
name of the
do.
block. By like Nassau over there.
Yes.
There was
Yes.
I'll pass by it and I'll get the name.
Yeah.
But there's that one. Um, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm gonna have to do some
Yes.
research.
We're gonna have to. It's not, believe it or not, I'm like you. You know, me and you, we walk around a lot. There is not that. I can't even think of other veterans. Like, you remember, there's VFW Post, Veterans of Foreign Wars,
Yeah,
Vietnam Veterans Organization. I
yeah.
don't even know of any more within RCB1.
And so maybe that could be the job that we have, is to
Okay.
document all of this, and I could get some people to help us do the research.
Right.
That way we have one place for the board and we'll memorialize everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because, and I think that's the other thing, because of the internet, people don't need to be part of a post anymore or a veterans club, because everyone just finds stuff online. In the old
Right.
days, you had to go somewhere to get help
Yes.
filling out the paperwork.
Exactly.
So I think though that we could sort of bridge that gap and take it from there.
And can I throw something else into the
Yeah,
mix?
go ahead. I'm writing everything down.
Good, good. Here's another thing I we used to talk about in the past, that in our community, again, we keep it within CB1, there are veteran memorials. Now, we just mentioned before the Father Giorgio Memorial on Mika, but there's a couple of more. And a lot of them are, again, there's nobody around, they're neglected.
I have an idea about that.
Good.
So we took over, Fidelity Triangle by Sun
Yes,
Diner. So we paint it, and once a year we do the big cleanup, and then we maintain it with
very
the
good.
the student volunteers. So what my dream is, find the local schools in CB1, and then the nearest memorial, the schools could volunteer and take care of them.
Okay.
So
Yeah, there's a World War One memorial. It's called Memorial
Yeah.
Gore,
yeah,
Humboldt and Metropolitan. Once a year, we do on Veterans Day. We do a with St. Nick's Alliance, but then there's also Constellation Spring Block Association takes care of one on Meeker and Leonard. That's the Badama Sessa. That's the
Yes,
young
yeah, yeah.
men of
Mhm.
Vietnam. There's about 13 names on that. So, but there's more. There's other like you. That's a great idea you have, Giovanni, because they're out there and
Yeah.
nobody really they're
Yeah.
neglected. Nobody does anything to weed them or to, you know.
So these will be easy to find on the parks website, because I
Right.
know the one over here by the on Metropolitan Avenue by the EMT, that's
Yeah.
a World War One memorial too, but it's just
Right.
grass now. It's like
Yeah. I
and
don't know if there's. I just passed there today. I don't know. Is there a plaque there? Is there
oh,
something there?
there should be the name of a young man who died in the war,
Okay.
but it's not there.
It's not
So
there.
that's something that I think, and again, something we could work on is document all of these in CB1, and then figure out a way to get some TLC to these sites. Erica, you have your hand up?
Hi, yes, my mother Evelyn wants to say something.
Oh, sure, go
Hi.
ahead.
Hi. A couple of years ago at the Gore Monument, the World War One monument, a couple of years ago, uh, uh, Tish and Guido and Assemblyman Lentor was there. It was a and a couple of the scouts,
Mhm.
and they had a beautiful dedication. The whole place was cleaned up. It looked beautiful. And it doesn't happen frequently anymore.
No.
And also, I feel that the War Memorial in McGolrick Park, she's going to be 100 years old this year.
Oh,
And she needs really the grounds where she is, the cobblestones or the Belgian blocks needs to be reset, needs plantings. And I feel like on November 11th this year, which falls on a Saturday, the North Brooklyn Parks Alliance can get wreaths placed at these war memorials. And there's the Monitor and the Merrimack at Goldberg Park also. So I really feel attention should be brought to it
yeah.
and not to be forgotten.
Now, Erica,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know your mom's name, but I
Evelyn.
hope you could see this poster that I'm going to put up
Evelyn.
because we were very involved with Tish and Guido in Memorial Gore. Unfortunately, Guido passed away, and Tish is not really able now. But as
We
you
took
can see,
pictures.
we were there November 11th.
Yeah, we took pictures. We were there.
And it's so nice. The Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts come. That's an annual event that we do every year. It was a little rainy this year, but that's a nice event. And you know what I mean, Giovanni? That's
Yeah.
maybe something to try to see if we could, like you said, get some groups in our community to do things like that.
Yeah, and there's, and to try to get the younger veterans involved with this too. Just because to keep the memories going, like all of these memorials have a connection not only to the community but to the sacrifice of the soldiers.
Right.
That's why, like, my passion for the memorials comes from me liking is to study history, right? So that's why that's something that I want this committee to work on is the memorials, the beautification, and then getting the services to the vets
Good.
that are here. So like those are like my priorities. Erica, I'm gonna give you my email address if I could find the chat. If you could shoot me
Okay.
an email, I would greatly appreciate it.
Sure.
That way I could keep you posted. And if you want to become like a community member that comes to this committee, you can. you know?
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I'm looking for the chat. Hold on. I'm a
I
little
can't find the chat either.
chat button. I'm
Uh,
looking for chat. Oh, wait, I don't see chat.
Okay,
Well, you
so,
know what? We'll figure this out. Maybe they took chat down, I think.
okay. Yeah, I can't find it either. So, I'll get,
I could call the office. I could listen. I could call the community board office.
if you
And
call over the office, Joanna, you have permission to give my email out, to
Thank
anyone
you.
who's interested in this. All
Yeah.
right?
So we're on November 11th this year, which is a Saturday.
Yeah.
We should honor these memorials, these monuments
Mhm.
with wreaths from
Yeah.
the North Brooklyn Parks Lions.
Excellent idea.
Yeah, and we will, we'll have that and we'll start planning for that, soon. That way we have presents coming. But you are right about the cobblestone that's in that pit. They changed, they did some work in the park and they sort of forgot about the monument. Everyone takes care of the Civil War monument, but everyone forgets about the World War One on the other side.
And
So
you go to McGolrick Park and look up the monument and the history. She was dedicated in 1923, so that's 100 years this year.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's good.
So it really needs to be cleaned up.
yeah. hmm All right, that's good. That's good stuff. And it's early enough that we could start, getting the people involved. I'll reach out to the council people also and see what we could get from, the city.
Just glad we were able to join the group tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you guys came because, I really, I want to get this committee moving. The other committees have a lot of action going on, so this one specifically, I wanted to get going. So also, and Michael Hoffman, you've joined us. So basically, we're just talking about the memorials in the community and how they need some TLC and coming up with ways of getting the word out to the veterans that live in the community about the different posts that are in the community. So,
Hi, Michael. How are you?
you know,
Hey, Phil,
welcome.
I put in for the committee, so
Okay, good.
Now,
Welcome.
Giovanni, maybe
Yeah.
I'll send you this, but I looked through my stuff because I give to these guys every year too. There is an organization in our community.
Okay.
They're memorialdayfoundation.org. They're on Orient Street. It's Dominic Semino.
Okay.
They solicit funds, but they put wreaths on the monuments in the neighborhood and in New York City and all like that.
Okay.
So
So you said, what's the website again? Memorial Day?
it's www.memorialdayfoundation.org.
Okay. Very good. All right.
Yeah, they do a nice job. Again, they solicit funds, but they buy nice wreaths to put on different monuments within the neighborhood. Because
Okay.
I help them out every year, so it's another thing we should look into and all.
hmm No, that's a good idea. And actually we'll, that's a good, we have some time before, Memorial Day and before
Right.
Veterans Day, so we could get that organized. Phil, who's the contact at the Parks Department? Because what's the lady's name at the Parks
Mary
Department?
Selleck. Mary
Okay.
Selleck.
Oh, so
Mary.
Mary. Okay.
Mary.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach out to Mary and ask
Right.
her for a list of all the memorials and the monuments within CB1.
That's a great
It's
idea.
much easier to just go to the direct person.
No, that's it.
That's
Yeah.
excellent, Giovanni.
Excellent.
And then what we'll do is we'll work backwards.
That's it. Sounds good.
Yeah, all right. And I'm an assistant principal in a local high school. It's the old Van Arsdale building. I grew up in the neighborhood, so we're gonna do what we got to do. But we will, like I said, I want to get some volunteers. The young people in the neighborhood, and then work with Parks Department because they're very particular with the monuments in the parks. Because like when we worked on Fidelity Triangle, we had to get permission. We just couldn't show up. And then they they changed the flag in the park there. They put the POW flag and then they put an American flag. And as long as you communicate with them, they're very helpful, Parks Department.
Yes, they are. They very much are. Yeah, because I just sometimes, again, Erica's mom will say that, tell you, when we are going to do that wreath laying on Veterans Day, we get in touch with them a week or two before, and they do send staff and clean up the park. So they work with you.
Okay, good. All right. Any concerns from anyone that's on here? I think our next meeting is going to be a lot more, we'll have a lot more to talk about. I'll share out, and hopefully by then, I wanted someone from the city Department of Veterans Affairs, and I spoke to, Joanna brought it up, but we're going to try to bring somebody in to talk about the services that the city provides.
Okay.
So then maybe once I identify some of the groups, we'll be able to get them to come to this meeting. But I'm very happy with the turnout tonight, and it was a good conversation. Anyone have anything they want to add? Hi, Laura. How are
How
you?
are you?
Hi, good, and you?
Good, good. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, the next meeting we'll do online also, and I'll probably shoot for, I'll send an email to Joanne and see what's available, but I'll try to do it next month instead of waiting the 2 months. That way we could, get some information out. But I'm excited about this thing about the monuments. I really wanna,
Yeah.
that's a good way for us to make that the first project of this committee is, identify all the monuments and start getting some of them the TLC that they deserve.
Good. Good.
Did
Okay, now,
anybody reach out? Did anybody reach out to, the, American Legion on Leonard Street?
That's the
American
one we
Legion-
couldn't think of.
that was the
yes.
one that we needed.
That's the one we
Right.
couldn't think of. Thanks, Michael. That's the one we couldn't think of.
That's 1776.
Yep.
Are they still pretty active, Michael?
They have meetings, I was going, but it's more, of a click than anything, and
Well, I was telling Giovanni, because I know you're more Greenpoint. I'm more on this side of the park, and I'm very familiar with the guys from Father Giorgio Post.
right,
They have a good group of guys, but they're all older guys. They don't attract any of these younger veterans.
yeah. That's terrible.
It is terrible. It is
You know?
terrible. They look for
And
them.
there's plenty of them.
Yeah.
There's plenty of veterans in,
They're just not
Williamsburg
joiners.
anymore.
I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
we'll see if we can, get some interest going. How's that?
That sounds good.
I think those are our two big jobs, to work on that, and the monuments. And I think if we could do it, I think we did our job, I think it's feasible. I just think that there's like a breakdown between, I actually think it's the age groups, right? But, and the forms of communication, but I think we could do it. And, we have a nice group.
How about the, oh boy, the Monitor Museum? They might want to get involved.
Yes, that's a good idea. They
know?
gave that really good presentation a couple years ago at
Yeah.
one of the board meetings.
They do.
I'll reach out to them. I'll look through my email. Monitor Museum is another one. Very good. All right. So I have the American Legion, the Monitor Museum, the Father Giorgio Post, and then I'm going to do another search and see what's available. And then the Memorial Day Foundation.
See what's out there.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So, I am going to shoot for, I'm going to just double check with everyone and then I'll request it with Joanna. Maybe like the last week of February.
Okay, see what's available.
I'll
Sure.
see what's available with Joanna.
Very good. Very, very good,
All
pal.
right. And then we'll have a follow-up. Now, Michael and Laura and Erica, how did you guys find out about the meeting? You guys got an email with the agenda for tonight?
Well, I had one to Phil. Oh,
Okay.
boy. He wanted to do something with the monuments. That was maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Mhm.
And I didn't hear anything about the Veterans Affairs with the community board, you know? So
I
I
think
figured
this is
it,
the first meeting in a couple years.
Mhm.
yeah. So as soon as I saw it, I jumped on it. You know,
Good.
I put in
Yes,
an
I know.
application to be a committee member, you know?
Okay, good.
And,
That's good.
I think it's
I
well
think I
worth it.
found, I think I was notified through because I'm on the environmental committee.
Oh, okay, so you get the
So-
emails. Okay, so I just want to make sure you guys will get the email notification for the next one. I was gonna try to put my email address in here, but I can't find the chat.
Yeah, I can't either.
No, I think there's no more chat, because what we do
Oh.
is we watch a lot of the other meetings, but I think the chat was kind of taken off on other community board meetings.
Okay.
I get CB1 emails also too. I didn't catch it that way, but my mom, Evelyn, she checks the calendar of meetings. So when she saw that the veterans meeting was listed, we were happy to see that. So we made sure that we wanted.
See, my uncle was in World War One, and I'm really for those World War One memorials.
No, I'm fascinated by the World War One memorials also. They just did a major renovation in Queens of one of the memorials, like it's the Doughboy Memorial. And I'm like, if they're getting those over there, why are we not getting any of
Right,
ours
we're not
fixed?
doing it here, right?
Do you
So-
know? Do you know the statue of Iwo Jima was cast in on India Street in
Oh,
Greenpoint?
wow.
Katie Mackey.
Yeah, Biddy Mackey.
Oh, wow.
Didn't
Yeah,
know-
and we casted it and gave them away, and we have to fix what we have, you know. But you know what? That's all stuff that we need to sort of document, and that's my thing. I'm a history. I taught history before I became an assistant principal, so I'm fascinated by all memorials. So that'll be a good project for us to do. Okay, so I'm gonna aim for the last week in February. Keep an eye out on your emails, your calendars.
Good.
And then you guys, hopefully keep on coming and I'll have information to report for the next meeting. All right?
Are we good?
Giovanni,
Yeah.
everything's getting booked pretty
Oh, okay. Do
quickly.
you want to do
Like
this
every,
now?
yeah, I have February 27.
I got my calendar, old school paper calendar. February 27th. Does that
Right.
work for everyone?
Just
Because the,
Sure does.
Okay.
yeah, the 28 is already taken, and also
Okay.
the
So
1st of March.
let's do the 27th. Um,
yeah, it's a Monday. Is that good?
yeah, that works. And we'll do 6:30.
I have to say a hi to Mike and Laura. And
Hi, Mike. Hi,
we're
Laura.
happy
Hi.
and honest. And I'll tell you something. Honestly, this was a really good meeting, and I'm happy. We're both happy to see it rejuvenated. And we really think that it's a positive. This will be a positive committee. This will be a positive group, and we look forward to it.
Yeah, I think
And we're history.
I have a
Listen,
good
and we're
feeling.
history buffs too. We have paper calendars also.
Yeah, you got to have paper calendars. I don't trust the computer calendars anymore. There's too much going on in those. All right. So we're booked now and we'll do WebEx again. That way more people could make it. And we'll be in touch. I'll call over to the office tomorrow and I'll get your email addresses because if that's how you guys signed up. If you guys want to write down my email address now, I'll say it, I'll say it slow. It's a long one. All right. So it's GIO dot my last name DAMATO at gmail.com. Okay. And that way, if you guys want to email me, I'll put you guys all on a email list and we'll start coming up with some plans. But the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow is I'll reach out to Mary Selig and get a list of all of the monuments and memorials we have in CB1.
Great idea. Great start.
And then we'll do what we got to do. All right.
So Giovanni, just to
Yes.
make sure, so it's GIO.DMATO@gmail.
No, DAMATO, D'Amato at
Okay, cool.
gmail.com.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't have my eyeglasses.
It's fine.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing. There was a few years ago, there was a rumor going around. My father-in-law actually told me, he was in World War II, that there used to be a POW camp right down by Barge Park during World War II. Now, I don't know how true it is. We can't find anything about it, but I'm sure if somebody did some digging, we could
Research,
find
yes.
something about it.
So you said by Barge Bar there was a
Barge Park.
oh, okay, park. There was a POW camp. All right. Yeah, now with all of this stuff that was once like private information, they're being released because after a certain amount of years, the government releases certain information. So it would, who knows? Maybe there's something out there on the National Archives website. But
Awesome.
that'll be that'll be a fun project.
Yeah.
With the students. Right now we're working with the Holocaust survivors, and they're doing a presentation to the kids. The kids are doing projects related to it, but my whole thing is I want to even get some World War II vets to talk to the kids. Vietnam
It's so
vets,
hard
right?
now.
Yeah,
Now
it's
it's
getting
hard.
harder. It's getting, and that's something. I always when I go down to DC, I try to go down when they fly the vets in. There's a company that flies vets in to see the memorials and the World War II vets. The
Even the Vietnam vets
yeah, the
starting to
Vietnam
go now.
vets. Yep.
you know?
So it would be good to like start, get there, get them, connect them with the schools, talk to the kids,
Yeah.
and just preserve their memories.
Well, I'm game.
Okay, good. We're gonna do good things here. So
Okay.
have a good night, everyone.
You
Okay,
too.
good
I will
meeting,
see
Giovanni.
you on February 27th. All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a good night,
Good night.
everyone.
Ciao.
Bye bye.